In the fighting pits of the Zalvorn hegemony, grace is everything. The Zalvorn are creatures of the low-G clouds, evolved with long hollow limbs and a nervous system tuned for blinding speed. To them, a fight is a dance, a series of high-flying leaps, delicate grapples and precision strikes. They viewed humans as clumsy boulders. We were too heavy, too thick and far too slow for their refined taste. When the Zalvorn boarded the human refueling station at Edge Point, they didn't bring rifles. They brought their master strikers, elite martial artists who specialized in snapping joints and paralyzing nerves. They expected to dismantle the human crew like they were stripping parts from a slow-moving machine. Master Striker Vex moved through the station's corridors like a ribbon of silk. He encountered Sergeant Sledge Miller in the main hangar. Miller was a big man, even by human standards, his skin scarred from years of heavy industrial work in the high-gravity mines of Earth's colonies. Vex let out a trill of amusement. He didn't see a threat, he saw a target. He launched himself off a bulkhead, a blurring arc of blue limbs. He struck Miller 4 times in the chest and throat before the human could even raise his hands. Vex landed lightly, expecting the human to collapse, his windpipe crushed and his ribs shattered. But Miller just coughed, spat a bit of red onto the floor and reset his stance. "That tickled bug," Miller growled, his voice a low, gravelly rumble. Vex hissed in confusion. His strikes had the force to crack Zalvorn chitin. Why was the mammal still standing? He decided to end it with a shatterlock. He lunged forward, his 4 arms wrapping around Miller's right arm in a complex, multi-jointed grapple. He intended to use his entire body weight to snap the human's humerus like a dry twig. He twisted with all his might. Crack. The sound echoed through the hangar. But it wasn't Miller who screamed. Vex's 2 primary arms didn't just break, they disintegrated. His hollow, bird-like bones, designed for the lightness of the clouds, had slammed into a pillar of solid, mineralized calcium. It was like trying to snap a steel rebar with a piece of balsa wood. This is the skeletal density of the human predator. We evolved on a high-mass world where every fall, every jump, and every struggle required our bones to act as structural anchors. Our bones are not just supports, they are impact-resistant clubs. The outer layer of a human bone, the cortical bone, is a dense, crystalline matrix of hydroxyapatite that can withstand thousands of pounds of pressure. Miller didn't even wait for the alien to realize what had happened. He didn't use a fancy strike or a pressure point. He simply balled his left hand into a fist, a 2-pound lump of dense bone and muscle, and swung it in a short, brutal arc. The punch hit Vex in the chest. It wasn't just a hit, it was an invasion. The density of Miller's knuckles acted like a kinetic hammer, the force traveling straight through Vex's light ribcage and liquefying his internal organs. The alien flew 20 feet across the hangar, hitting the far wall with a wet thud. "You're too light, pal," Miller said, rolling his shoulder. "Speed is great, but mass is the boss." The rest of the Zalvorn boarding party watched in horror. They realized that their superior martial arts were useless. Every time they tried to grapple a human, their own fingers snapped. Every time they tried to kick a human, their own shins shattered against the human's rock-hard tibias. It wasn't a fight, it was the Zalvorn breaking themselves against a wall of human meat and bone. The humans didn't need to be fast. They just needed to be solid. They walked through the Zalvorn strikes, ignoring the pain, and delivered single, crushing blows that ended the fight instantly. By the time the Master Strikers realized they were outclassed, half their squad had been reduced to a collection of broken splinters. The Zalvorn retreated from Edge Point, their honor replaced by a primal fear of the Stone Men. The Galactic Council's new entry on human hand-to-hand combat was a grim warning for any species considering a brawl. Advisory: do not engage humans in close-quarters combat without high-impact power armor. While they appear slow and soft, their internal structure possesses a structural density that makes their limbs effectively lethal blunt-force weapons. A human fist is equivalent to a high-density kinetic mace. In a grapple, your own skeletal structure will fail before theirs. Against humans, you are not fighting a soldier, you are fighting a mountain that has learned how to punch. Humanity had proven the ultimate physical HFY truth. You can be as fast as the wind and as graceful as the light, but in the end, the universe belongs to the thing that is too hard to break. We are the ones with the iron in our bones. We are the ones who don't snap. And if you try to break us, you'll find out that we're the ones who break you.